welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello. Ben, when's episode 300 coming out? That's the question that's on my lips. When's episode 300 coming out?
You'll eat those words if it's already out. It could be.
It could be.
Yes. No. Unfortunately, we're as of the time of recording, we are still waiting to see if we have lost the audio from episode 300 at PAX forever, or if it can be recovered. We are hopeful, but it may not be out by the time we need to release a new one. So it will be this one. Welcome.
Welcome.
What are we doing? Should we treat this as a Halloween episode, since this is the one that will probably come out on Halloween?
Yeah, it will now, potentially.
Yeah.
In fact, fuck it. It is coming out on Halloween. Because
even if we get 300 done, we'll do this as Halloween and we'll put 300 out at after 303.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Our numbering is all over the place. I think, you know what, the fucking podcast accountants are going to get on us again.
Yeah, if we're not releasing 300.
Yeah, they wanted us to have put in the hours to get up to 300. We did that. We did 5 or 6 or whatever interstitial episodes. And then we fucked it all up.
Just for the joke of us having episode 300 recorded at PAX, and yeah.
Yeah.
What a great idea that was.
Anyway, yes.
Trevor, the podcast accountant, god damn it. You're an idiot for suggesting it.
Oh my god, Trevor was the podcast accountant the whole time.
I didn't say that. There was another guy named Trevor. He looked something.
It's a common name.
Something like me. He just had short hair and a black beard.
Yes, he's like you turned upside down.
He had grey hair and a black beard.
This intro is too long. Let's get into it. Ramped up click pitch. This is a game where we each have a random phrase generator in front of us, and on the count of 3, 2, 1, click. We're going to get some words each and throw them into a game design.
Yes.
A little, game design mixer. Bake it into a game design cake.
Using an easy bake oven. Yep.
Yeah.
So it takes a while to cook.
Yeah. It'll probably just be
doughy
raw
in the center,
batter. Yeah. Which is why we throw it out at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have fun making it, so let's do it.
Susceptible thumb.
Nominated Ascending.
Ooh, okay.
This is an award, there's some award.
For hitchhiking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was literally going to say for it's the Phalanges. That's what the award's called.
Well, it could still be called the Phalanges because
it could be called the Phalanges. It's not. It's everything you can do with your fingers, but there's a hitchhiking category. There's green thumbs. There's a pointing category. All your fingers. All
boxing is one of the characters. One of the categories.
Yeah, it's just a boxing match in the middle of the award show, actually. That's when they hold it.
And it's just like the Olympics where it has to be amateurs. There's no professional boxers allowed.
Yeah. There's a Giving the Finger award.
Oh, yeah.
There's
it's called the Bird. You want to win the Bird.
Well, yeah, it's actually a little bird, award. There's a Get the Ring on the Finger contest. And then there's a Pinky Promise. But that's an actual, you have to, if you've kept, it's who's kept a Pinky Promise the longest.
Yes.
Without breaking it.
And thing is, there's a rumour that there is someone who has never received the award and will never receive the award because he plans to take his Pinky Promise to the grave. So, every now and again you get a
you only get it after
every now and again you get a posthumous, award going out of someone who never shared that. But last year there was actually controversy because it turns out that 3 people knew the secret.
Right, yeah. So they had to actually
Ronald
take the award
Evans,
back.
He blabbed. he blabbed to his wife the secret, and
God
she
damn it,
then
Ronald.
told everyone in the church.
Yeah.
All three people.
All three people in the church. It's a very small church. More of a cult. More of actually it's just sort of like
a get together.
A weekly get together.
A Bible reading group, like Bible study group.
Yeah. But they did become
people.
an official offshoot, like a sect of the, like a splinter cell. Sam Fisher was also there.
Yeah.
But I think we focus on the hitchhiking
Yes.
category.
Ooh. And the winner is running late.
Do you play
The Hitchhiker.
Who do you play? You play a hitchhiker.
You play the Hitchhiker, and
Right.
you have
And
the
you're late for the award show.
You're late for the award show, and you're trying to hitchhike across the city.
Okay, I could see this being sort of a system-based game where there's roads with varying amounts of traffic. You've got different techniques for getting picked up. You're more likely to get picked up on a less busy road, I think, because people are more likely to stop. Mm-hmm. But there's less traffic, so less opportunities.
I think because you're in a tuxedo, people.
Well, I think you have to get the tuxedo. I think it's this. It's not just getting from where you are to the award show. It's like you've got errands to run.
Okay.
And the only way you get around is
So
by each
what
other.
happened was one of your rivals has basically paid off someone to send you out to whoop whoop, and now you're trying to get back into the city, get your tux, and then
Right. Okay.
and then get to the.
Yep.
But of course, the people that you get picked up, they can only take you so far. And I'm just
Well, because
imagining
they all have it. Like every car literally has it. So we do a little bit of a random AI sort of thing. Like they have somewhere they're heading, and and so they might need to veer off in a different direction. And you say, okay, let me out here.
Okay. In the corner of the screen at all times, you have a live video feed of the awards.
So that's where all the other ones come in
Exactly.
that we talked about. Yeah.
It's just like he's watching just a live YouTube feed on his phone, and and you see, and it's like coming up the greatest award that we give out, the Phalanges for Hitchhiker of the Year, coming up in about
in about 14 and a half minutes. Can you do things to extend it? Can you like call?
Yeah, I think
call
you can.
in and like, have one of the boxing people, competitors, stall.
Yeah.
And make that go longer. All right, I'm thinking first person.
Yeah.
Maybe VR. I'm just thinking the thumb. I'm just thinking the thumb mechanics. I wonder if you have to like find the right thumb angle, and you get like some little vibrations and stuff. Like there's almost a little mini game for like holding the thumb in the right spot. You're more likely
Beacon.
to like you get a bonus. It just lights up. Yeah, it's almost a power up.
Yeah, it's basically if you get it perfect, it's like you always get this beacon come out of.
Yeah.
It's like it can now be seen by anyone, and if you slightly move it off to the side,
your chances for getting picked up are higher.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. I really do love that.
Is there some strategy in the types of vehicles, perhaps? Like, that someone in a, like, high-powered sports car is probably going into the city and you need to go into the suburbs first to get your tux from the rental place.
The thing is, they may only be two-seaters, and they may already have a passenger. Because you can't fit in the back. Like, it's tiny little bucket seats. I remember trying to get in the back of Trav's car when he used to have, like, this sports-looking car, and it was, like, impossible to get into because literally your knees were up around your ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that. Like, it was insane.
Can you do so? Is there some sort of, like, hitchhiker vision then as well that you can turn on to, like, see...
Oh,
okay, this car that's coming, likelihood of them having a spare seat, X%,
likely
speed of the car, X%.
But likelihood of them having a shotgun and, potentially holding you up.
It. Yeah, maybe they're going to be an asshole and like steal your shit or just drive you in the wrong direction and not let you out or murder you and, put your body in a river. Ditch.
Yeah. Like what happened to Daniel.
Yeah, that was sad. He's in the in memoriam this year.
Yeah.
That's one of the things you see when you faint.
It's all those sort of I think you should leave level of dark comedy of Daniel dead in a ditch. Like ears around knees around his ears, like dead in a ditch, and it's like, oh, he got into a sports car.
Right, all the hitchhiking casualties this year. And then I think we can have like little, again, hopefully sort of semi-randomized or at least random when they come up, conversations as you're in the car. Right? So that's what you can be doing.
Oh, it's all about small talk. And that's a category of Hitchhiker of the Year, is the reason why you're up for Hitchhiker of the Year.
Is that you're particularly good at small talk?
Yeah, you're particularly good at small talk. And, if you're good at listening, you can actually keep the conversation going. Because I think that if the conversation starts to lull, that's when you get kicked out. Because
that's it. You have to make them
awkward silences are the worst for a hitchhiker. Yeah.
Because the person just gets uncomfortable. It's like, I'm going to let you out here.
I'm really loving how gamified this already is. Like, it's all about, the small talk conversations. It's all about, that you got to get here. If you're really good and really on point with this small talk, they may take you all the way into the city to the Tux. Because, it's almost a spell that you put them under.
Well, yeah, again, I think you're just charming them.
But if you make the wrong choice, like, they may... it comes up, they will remember that. and it's that whole telltale thing of you may have said the wrong thing and
I
I
almost want to make this...
You talked about politics, and that is something that you should never talk about. Like,
well, but I think it's not just about never talking about it. I think it's about reading the driver and figuring that out. Right. What they're going to be interested in. Or if they bring up politics, like, which direction do you go in? Do you agree with their horrible fascist
Did you
racist,
actually notice their bumper bar sticker saying who, one of them says, my daughter is an honor roll student, and the other one says, I voted for Trump, please ask me.
Yeah. Please ask me. Please ask me why. I would love to tell you. Yeah, exactly. I'm almost pitching this as a bit of a roguelike, perhaps, where
you can do different runs, and you can
do different runs, and it's not always like you can maybe decide, actually, like, I'm ahead of time. I can make it to the more expensive Tux place
and rent that nice white Tux.
Yeah.
Which will look amazing, but of course, if it's raining outside, then you may get splashed on the way.
Yeah, these are all things that you have to take into account because you want that final moment. You don't know whether you've only been nominated for the award. You don't know that you're going to win.
And the thing is, what you don't realize is you are also being judged on how you go on the way there.
Well, this is it. It's a hitchhiking award. It's all part of it. Yes, exactly. It's how well you have hitchhiked up until this point of them handing out the award.
Yeah.
So do you have the rivals then? Is that also part of it?
I think there is a rival. I think there is.
Can you sabotage them in some way? Your other nominees?
Ooh, I kind of like the idea that rather than, you've been sent out there by your rivals, it's like, no, the whole idea is to get Hitchhiker of the Year, you have to be the first one to arrive.
Yes, from a particular distance away.
They send you 20 miles out, and you've got to get there in time, having gone through your list of things. Well,
and you have to look like, and there are other. Yes, that's it. There are other criteria of you're also judged on who looks the best to pick up the award and who charmed the most people or something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, you know.
I would love if you actually have a body cam on. Like, that's one of the things. So they are literally judging.
So while you're watching, sometimes they cut to it. It's like, and you know, we've still got the Phalanges for Hitchhiker of the Year coming up. Let's cut to one of our nominees.
Yeah, and you see them laying in a ditch, and it's like, oh, let's not cut to that one.
God. Yeah. Yeah, it's just their body cam pointed up at the sky and there's like a vulture like pecking at it.
It takes out an eye and you just see the eye in the camera and it's like, oh, no, cut back. It's like the host is just standing there like...
They cut to a musical number.
Oh, let's go to the boxing match.
It's the Phalanges of the Year.
Oh, just... If that happened, you know, that would let you know these are the stakes. Like, you could get murdered out there. Like,
oh yeah, it can happen. It can happen for sure.
I really love this for a game. I think
it's got a good flavor to it. It's
just stupid enough for us to keep on talking about it, and it still makes sense, and it's dark enough,
but it's got enough gameplay as well that it could actually be a game, unlike a lot of other bullshit things we come up with.
Okay, so yeah, I think I do like the game show idea, not the game show, the
award show,
show idea that you're able to look at it just to basically keep up to date with what's actually happening, but you don't want to be looking at it the whole time because, you know,
no,
then they won't cut to you. You know, and you want some screen time. How many other people? How many contestants are there?
4 or 5 total, I think.
Yeah,
that's you know, often for a award show. That's sort of the number of nominees you might have.
Yep,
minimum 3, but yeah.
Or maybe that's the different difficulties. Like,
oh yeah,
if
it's like Civilization, where it's like how many
people you want to go
how
up
many
against.
other people are out there trying
especially
to
as you know that even though you're up against, you know, you're in a category of 3 people, you know that one of them's going to die because that's something that happens to let you know.
Well, again, I think roguelike, I think we randomize a lot of this stuff, or we simulate it almost, where, you know, we have all these cars driving around in this simulation essentially with their destinations, and you know, we are in the background simulating these other people to a degree.
I think it's more simulated off how you're going. So if you're going bad, then, you know, then we'll automatically sort of say that there's someone better than you. But if you're going really well, like,
I think we can add elements or remove them from the simulation based on that in a bit of a like Left 4 Dead directory sort of way of like responding to, you know, making it fun for the player.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do like that AI director idea, that it's not fully simulated, so it's not already predetermined that this person's going to be going like this. It's determined on the fly.
What I meant by simulated is more just putting the systems in place, right? Yeah. Like, we just randomly generate these cars that are flowing through the city with different destinations in mind, different temperaments of the people inside, and you might get in one of their cars, or, you know, in the background, obviously, we're not like actually doing all the dialogue and stuff, but we're like, oh, this person got in this car. All right, that means they're, you know, we randomly sort of decide based on their attributes how well they're going to do with that, where they get out, and how long it takes them, that sort of thing. And that could let us accurately actually cut to them in some way. And like, then it's still, you know, then at that point it is generated, but it's like, oh, they're here in the city. Like, we actually do know their location. What car they're in.
It would be kind of cool to, like, when you kind of get to the city and or someone else gets to the city, they have on the award show. Now we've got an update that, you know, one of the groups has reached the city and here's where they are on the map. Yeah, you know, they sort of show just a very basic map.
You get an overhead view of like where everyone is.
It's like, this person hasn't left this area for a while, and you see them, they're still walking. Like,
it's nobody's picked them up.
They're in a back road somewhere.
For some reason, they decided to carry like a battle axe with them.
They were dressed as the Joker and
putting everyone out,
and people just
putting everyone off.
They were dressed as the Joker, and they just
look. They swung hard.
Yeah,
and it didn't pan out.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like it a lot. I want to play it. Someone make it like.
That's one. Yeah, that's one I could see. Like, because it'd have such a good sense of humor, and then I think you do bring in roguelike elements of, like, oh, you know, charmed 10 people this run, you've unlocked the possibility of, like, a special dialogue option that shows up randomly to, you know, help you charm people in future or whatever, or like an item that you pick up or something, you know, something.
Yeah.
Because maybe, like, as you finish a ride with someone, they might, like, give you a gift or something, or something falls out the back of the car.
It could be very much a...
they throw something at you if they hate you.
It could very much be a Monkey Island sort of thing of where you learn more dialogue options by talking to more people. Like, there's only so many topics that you know about at the start. Like, you know about the weather, you know about, you know... Have you watched the Phalanges before? You know,
yeah, and it's talking about the award show. Yeah, no, I like that, and yeah, but it's run by run that you get that.
Yeah,
new topics, and I think there is a strategy potentially in, because I kind of like that idea that you piss someone off enough, they kick you out of the car and they throw something at you. But, like, it's an item you can then use to continue. So there's actually some strategic benefit sometimes to taking a gamble on, oh, I'm going to get kicked out of this car and see what they throw at me.
Like, I could imagine, you know, in the last conversation, they started talking about this podcast that they really like. And so now you've got, like, some sentences that you can mention about, or general things... little small talk things that you can talk about this podcast about, like, or, you know, you listen to the podcast in the car and you're picking up things about, finances, I could use that, or politics, and, you know,
that you just bring up these different topics and then you're having to, like, gauge the responses to them.
Yeah.
Almost in these little dialogue-based mini-games.
And it's kind of like... the character that you play is almost being built up over the whole, over this run and subsequent runs.
Well, or do you even go further and gamify this to an even bigger degree that when you're in the car, it's like a collectible card game. It's like a Slay the Spire or something, or, you know, where you're playing a topic card and...
Oh, okay. It's a deck builder game.
Yeah, that it's a deck builder, basically. And so that's it. Like, between runs, you're unlocking new cards that could show up. But within a run, you're collecting the cards that are available to you, and you have to use those to...
Oh, my God. I'm just imagining, like, you draw your first 5 cards or whatever it is, and the topics are all, you know... Margot based and all this sort of stuff, and it's like, it's shit,
all right-wing politics.
I chose some of those cards and they've all turned up at the same time.
But that's great, because then the strategy of choosing your vehicles comes into it.
Yeah, because you know what cards you got. Like,
you know what cards you've got. You're like, fuck, I can only talk about these things, and you maybe even build that into the narrative of the challenge of this award. It's like, each person is only allowed to speak about, you know, these things, and the things they learn about on the way, or something, you know, something like that.
So I don't think you even need to do the conversations as such. You just need to have, like, almost simish sort of speak.
No, exactly. I don't think either that, or you just have some very, like, a set of predetermined responses for each type of topic.
Trump, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like him, blah, 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 podcast, blah.
Yeah. And it's along the lines of, where, you know, if they're reacting negatively or positively to it, like, you get different ones. And then it's not just conversation topics, though. I think it is, like...
answers. It's, like...
Well, and like items and things, perhaps, or... yeah, like almost this power up thing, or like you get a flashlight or something.
You open it up and it's, oh my god, it's a flashlight, not a flashlight.
And then again, you really have to choose who you're going to have pick you up, because who's going to respond well to that? Don't go into the family minivan. No, but I was more thinking like as the time goes on, it's getting darker, and so you want to be more noticeable on the side of the road or something, you know?
That's when, you know, that that reflective jacket may have actually saved your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Just because you found it on a corpse, it doesn't mean anything. It's not haunted. It's not cursed.
It's not cursed. It's only got a little bit of viscera on it.
Only a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like this is really like coming together.
I hope so, because we've nearly talked the entire episode on this one game, which is
I feel like maybe
pretty impressive.
We should just keep it going to the end.
VR, so you actually got the cards in your hand and you get to select which card.
Oh yeah, that's cool. You could have a fun little animation. Like I don't think
you select it with your thumb.
You can only use your thumb. Like you're pushing buttons on the radio with your thumb. You're like only giving thumbs up and thumbs down for answers to things. Maybe one of the power-ups you can get is just a longer thumb.
A thumb long enough.
Thumb longer.
Thank you, Futurama. God damn it, I fucking love that. Okay, I think I still like the idea of having a full script for the award show, because that's...
Well, again, I think either a full script or you almost unlock aspects of that too. Like, again, maybe you play a run and it's like, oh, now you've unlocked another award that can get played in the background. Oh, well, and because if we're really talking about that you have to get there in a certain time, I wonder if adding new awards adds time to it or something, or... Yeah,
could do.
Yeah. I really like the card aspect of it now.
Yeah, same.
So you've got the travel. The cards might affect the travel as well. Like, you might be able to play a card to say... to discard a card and you know, like, you get some insight into the upcoming car, right? That's coming, about what they want to talk about. Or, like, you can call a cab or something. No, maybe not call a cab, but, like, you're almost cheating. Like, you call a friend to come pick you up and it's like, oh, well, you know that they're going to take you a certain amount of distance guaranteed.
Yeah. But the problem is, if they find out that you did that, then you get points deducted.
There's a risk, yeah. Well, if they cut to you in that time, then they find out because you're not actually conversing properly, or, you know, whatever. You could come up with something.
Yeah. Well, the idea is, are you in a low signal area, and then you can potentially, as in,
right,
you can see like the signal. For your body cam, like the signal degradation and that sort of stuff. So.
Well, and that could be cards as well. You could, like, have a card to disable your body cam for a certain amount of time. It's like, okay, you know you're not going to be get cut to in this time, because maybe that's a whole aspect of it. Like, if they cut to you at an inopportune time, then the audience favor goes down, you know, because you're not doing anything interesting enough, or you're in a car not doing well or whatever.
So if you really choose the wrong car, like you didn't notice all the chainsaws in the back of this car and all this sort of stuff, like, yeah, I can imagine that it's almost a high risk reward sort of thing, that you could end up dying on this, or like you could talk your way out of it and then you actually get more points because it's like, it's a danger multiplier.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe, like, one of the cards you can get and unlock in subsequent runs or whatever is the, like, get out of car free card, where essentially you just jump out of the car So you can like, oh, okay, this guy, like, I'm in this, this is a super fast sports car coming. You know, they're going to be able to take me a while, but like it turns out he's just this like psycho and he's like slamming the accelerator on because he's trying to freak you out or whatever. It's like, nah, get out. You just jump out. But the card means you'll definitely survive.
Yeah, otherwise you've got a percentage chance depending on how fast and how many like
and again
concrete poles are in the way.
Items like, are you wearing a leather jacket? Because that's, you know, you get a multiplier if you're wearing a leather jacket and other particular clothing for like the look that you're going for. But it also has protective elements for jumping out of vehicles.
Like arseless chaps. It's
I mean, you could go that
choice.
direction with the leather. Definitely. And look, some people who pick you up, it's going to work well for them.
Yeah. Others,
and
not so much. This was supposed to be a Halloween episode, so...
It's all happening on Halloween night, and sometimes they're ghosts in the car.
Oh, I forgot about that part. God damn it.
We got too deep. We got too deep into that fun game. I feel like we haven't had a good one like that that's actually got solid mechanics.
I know.
For a while.
And we just forgot the one thing that we said at the start. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
That's why you die and be dumped
Hitchhikers are scary.
and be dumped in a ditch.
There were some scary elements.
Texas
Hitchhikers have a strong, you know, vibe with Halloween. Like, there's definitely a good connection there.
Every now and again, like, you could almost theme it to the time of year that it actually is.
Or you just like you have a Halloween event at Halloween, and it's like, there's 30 new cards added that are likely to come up during this time, and it just adds a spin.
Yeah, and then you got the Christmas event, you got the Thanksgiving event, you've got the Easter event, you've got Labor Day.
You could build on this a lot.
Labor Day weekend.
You could build on this a lot. Is there multiplayer then? You probably could. As in, like...
As DLC, definitely.
Chances are you're never going to run into each other, but you're each in the same city and you're competing against each other, right?
I do like that, actually. Ooh. Yeah, there is definitely something there. The possibilities for this game. So, Ben, when are you starting work on this game? And...
Look,
how many little storylets are you going to put in there?
Well, that's it. Storylets would work well. I think with a game like this, I mean, it's the way we've described it is very ambitious.
Oh yeah.
I think if you were to actually build a game like this, you would distill it down a bit to
2D,
probably 2D,
top down,
probably vignettes of like, okay, you're in hitchhiking mode, and there's this car coming. You know,
do you put your thumb out? Do
you put your thumb out or not? What cards do you have at any point? You wouldn't do the whole cut to the awards show in that same way.
No, but you could still have your little thing down. You could have it
come up in text and stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think if you were actually building it, you'd do it. You'd simplify it. Yeah,
that'd be the first version, which doesn't sound as fun.
No, I mean you could still do it. You could do a version in maybe not VR, but like
normal first person,
in a first person mode.
I do like the idea, and this only would work in the
open world.
This would only work in the single player version where you can actually do a focus on the car, like where time slows down.
Time slows down, yeah,
and you get different things highlighted, like. Ooh, and the darker it is at night, and the more tinted the windows are, the less that you can actually see into the
right
into the car.
I think you could do a somewhat cut down version in first person. You've got the cards, you've got the cars, and maybe you don't even like the whole awards show thing is pretty out there, but you could have that as the main conceit.
It's like. I don't expect anyone's first run to actually come anywhere near winning. Like,
yeah, true.
And I expect that each run is like the next award show. Like, if you've got this one character...
It's the next year, yeah.
If you've got this one character that you're doing... And it could just be like when they get too old, they just, pass it off to their son. And their son now,
well, that's it. Because then there's an award for, like, getting to the award ceremony before you're, like, 32 or whatever. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, we've petered off into thinking about how we'd actually build this now because we like it so much. But I think we'll end it there.
Yeah. That was a good. That was a really good episode. I enjoyed that.
That was a good episode. I don't think it's been a long time since we've done just one game.
Yeah,
for an episode,
and you know what? That is going to be one of the easiest edits ever.
Yes,
you're literally just going to have to listen to it and go, that's fine. I'll just leave it as is.
Pretty much. So great. If you would like to find our previous episodes, we do usually do more games per episode. Go to podchaser.com/bitstorm and give them all a listen.
If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust, which you can find at kuradust.bandcamp.com.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And the Phalange goes to...